Good day. Welcome to Therapeutic Yoga. Today, we are going to spend the next hour on our little hips. Hips are a very good area for us to work on in yoga, as unfortunately they get very imbalanced due to our lovely pleasure of sitting for leisure sometimes, definitely for eating, definitely for driving. So they're an area of our body that needs a lot of work, and we shall work our hips out today. Before we get started on our hips, what we're going to do is a simple or not so simple, depending on how in depth you want to get into the concepts of it, but alternate nostril breathing is what we're going to work on today. So find yourself in a seated position, either on your yoga bolster in a tailor sitting pattern, or you can take your bolster and straddle it. If you're not comfortable sitting on a yoga bolster to do a breathing exercise or a mindfulness exercise, then simply find a chair in your home and have a seat in that. But we will not be using our chair for our yoga class today. Once you're in your seated position, begin with a gentle pelvic tilting and tucking, just to kind of start to wake up what we call the base of our spine, but also to find that middle point of our pelvis for sitting, so we sit in a good alignment. So as you roll forward and roll backward through your pelvis, find that kind of middle of the road. It should be somewhere near where you feel like you're sitting on those sit bones. Even though your bolster's hard, you should be able to maybe perceive where there's bone of your pelvis. And then once you're there, bring your spine nice and tall for me. And then allow yourself just to simply use your hips and hinge slightly until you feel a little bit of weight go into your legs. So in that position, it'll allow you to have that rib cage positioned over the pelvis, and then have weight into your legs so that your base of support includes the entire leg area and not just your pelvis. And now let's kind of get a nice good position of our shoulder girdles. So just take your hands, bring your hands to the center of your heart for me, maybe even put a smile on your face for this morning. Take a nice deep inhale and lift your arms up, turn your palms to the ceiling. And then as you come down, kind of pull your elbows up, back and down. Keep your shoulder blades going back and down. Have your forearms kind of vertical towards the floor. Keep this position of your shoulder blades and your shoulder girdles for a second. Keep your arms in this position for a second. And then check back in that you haven't kind of lost that position of weight in your legs. And then once you're there, squeeze between those shoulder blades and gently let the arms rest down onto the thighs. You can have your palms upwards towards the ceiling, or you can have your palms downwards towards the floor. And then lengthen your neck and settle your chin. Find that good neutral position for our neck and our head. Rest your tongue on the roof of your mouth. And then in this position, we're going to use our right hand. Now, with our right hand, I want you to figure out how you can use your ring finger and your thumb. So you're going to be kind of using the thumb against the right nostril and the ring finger against the left nostril. So the pinky finger's kind of left out to the side. The index and the middle finger, you have two options for them. You can bend them downward, or you can straighten them and place them in the center of your brow to kind of give a little bit of stretch to that brow muscle. That muscle right there that causes those wrinkles between our eyebrows is called your corrugator muscle. And so I like to just put my fingers there so I get a little bit of a stretch of that muscle while I'm doing this technique. So here's what I want you to do. Check in that you've got that nice, good sitting upright alignment, and then allow yourself to gently take your thumb and close your right nostril. Start with a slow, deep inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1 into the left nostril. Hold your breath, close the left nostril, open the right nostril, and exhale out for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the left nostril open. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath, switch nostrils, so open up the left, and then exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, keep the left nostril open. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1.
Switch nostrils as you hold your breath, and then exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right nostril stays open. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath, switch nostrils. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do one more round. Inhaling left nostril, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath, switch nostrils, and exhale right, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling right nostril, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath, switch nostrils, and exhaling 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly relax your hand away. And if you need to, if you opened up your nostrils, give it maybe a couple nice little sniffs upward. And as you do that, just kind of get the air flowing through your nose. All right, so we're going to focus a lot on all of the muscles of our hips today. So do me a favor, and while you're sitting on the bolster, make sure you feel like you're in the center of the bolster, and then just gently allow your legs to kind of come out into a wide-legged stretch. So in this Supta Baddha Konasana kind of beginning of it, what I want you to do is just make sure that there's no pain of your knees. So if there's pain of your knees, just gently keep your knees a little bit bent. But in this position, all we're going to do is start with some cat-cows. So allow yourself to either rest your hands on your thighs, rest your hands on your bolsters, or rest your hands a little tiny bit below your knees. You pick the position that's comfortable for you. Now take an inhale and arch your back. Let your belly come out. Lift your chest, lengthen your neck and look upward. And then as you exhale, curl your tailbone under, belly inward, spread your shoulder blades, bring your chin to your chest. Inhaling, lengthening upward through the spine, but getting a little bit of opening through these hips. And then as you exhale, curling everything under. Let's do 2 more times. Inhaling, nice and long, lengthen upward through the front of your body. And then as you exhale, literally imagine how could you make the front of your body shorter. And 1 more time. Inhaling, lengthening through the front of your body, waking up that spine. And then as you exhale, curling under. And slowly coming up to the center. And now let's kind of wake up our feet and our nerves, our peripheral nerves in our legs for a second. So make sure whatever position you've chosen for your separate leg stretch, you feel just a little bit of tension in your inner thigh. Now, try to find the pelvic position for you that you feel like you're in the center. So slowly roll your pelvis forward and backward and find that middle of the road. Don't go into full extension where you feel a massive stretch, because this is going to be about our nerves for a minute. All right, let's see how good of a coordination you've got. So can you inhale and pick up your right toes as you point your left toes down? And can you exhale and do the opposite? Inhale, right toes up, left toes down. Exhale, left toes up, right toes down. You got it. Let's do that 1 more time. Inhale, right toes up, left toes down. Exhale, left toes up, right toes down. And then take a break. All right, let's try the opposite. So inhale, left toes up, right toes down. Exhale, left toes down, right toes up. You've got it. Inhale, left toes up, right toes down. Exhale, right toes up, left toes down. 2 more times. Inhale, left toes up, right toes down. Exhale, right toes up, left toes down. And inhale, left toes up, right toes down. And exhale, right toes up and left toes down. Very nice. Relax your toes. Now, we're going to start with doing a little bit of a stretch for the part of our back that really connects to our pelvis muscle. So it's the side muscle on your back. It's called your quadratus lumborum. And so here's what I want you to do. What we're going to begin with
is bringing your left leg gently in. And then as you bring your left leg gently in, kind of lengthen your left leg out a little bit. So take your pelvis and gently face it towards the bent knee. Now, as you do that, you should already begin to feel a little bit more stretch into that inner thigh before you even do anything else. In this position, gently take your right hand, bring it down the inside of your right leg. Take your left hand and bring it to the outside of you so that if you can imagine, it's like you're lining up your arms and your shoulder blades. Watch your knee. If there's any pain here, take your block and place the block underneath your thigh so that you're not hyperextending that knee, okay? In this position, left arm, please. Take an inhale, lift it all the way up, and then as you exhale, just side bend over that right leg that's falling off the bolster. Now, in this position, can you take that armpit and turn it up a little tiny bit? Can you lengthen your rib cage up a little higher? Now take a deep inhale, reach that left arm up to the ceiling, and then as you exhale, can you side bend a little tiny bit more? Very good. Now, into the side of your back and into your right inner thigh. Take a deep inhale into your belly. And then exhaling out. One more time. Nice deep inhale into your belly. And then exhaling out. Inhale, coming back up, and then exhaling the arm down. Now, we're going to do the opposite side in a little bit, but before we do that, we're just going to change the position of our legs to play with Z pose on our bolster. So here's what I want you to do. Take yourself so that you feel your pelvis is sitting on the bolster. Take your right leg so that your right knee is in line with your hip and your right shin bone is in line with the outside of your mat. Then in this position, check in for a second with your left leg and make sure that your left knee lines up with your left shoulder and that your shin bone is lining up with the front of the mat. All right, hopefully you can already feel just a little tiny bit of stretch into this right hip joint. So we're going to start with doing a little stretch for the right hip joint, and then we're going to do a fold over this left leg. So take your right hand, bring it right into the side of that right hip joint. Left arm again, inhale it up. And then as you exhale, lean up and over that right hip. Very good. Nice deep inhale into your belly. Exhaling out. One more time. Nice deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Beautiful. Inhale the arm back up and then exhale, dropping the arm down. Now, keeping yourself in this beautiful Z pose. I think you see how it's named, okay? Gently allow your arms to come and fall up and over this left leg. Now, for you, if doing that, you already feel too much tension in your left hamstring, you can allow yourself to use the bolster and bring yourself up the yoga block, my apologies, and bring yourself up a little bit higher so you're not so much into a forward bend of your left hip. So you pick what's comfortable for you. Now, in this position, what I want you to do is make sure that your back is nice and flat. So take an inhale and pull your belly towards the very edge of that bolster. There's the left hip. And take a nice deep inhale in, and then as you exhale, just gently bend your elbows like you're doing a push-up and fold until you find that perfect stretch for you at home in that left hip. Staying right there. See if you can add a little bit of nerve tension for me. So take both sets of toes and point them up. Take a nice deep inhale, and then as you exhale, can you go a little bit further? Now, 2 nice deep inhales and exhales here. So deep inhale into the belly, into that left hip. And then as you exhale, relaxing here. Deep inhale into that left hip. And then as you exhale, relaxing here. Inhaling, pushing yourself back up. And then let's bring ourselves back so that we're facing the side of the bolster. As you face the side of the bolster, find that separate leg stretch again. And as soon as you find that separate leg stretch, simply take the right leg inward so that it's bent. Now, lengthen out the left leg so that the pelvis and the rib cage are facing towards the right knee. If you feel any tension on that unsupported left knee, you can take that block and place it underneath that left knee. Completely up to you. Now take your left hand, slide it down the inside of your left leg. Right hand, bring it behind you so it's holding the back of the bolster. Let's inhale and reach that right arm up. And then as you exhale, side bend over. Can you find that stretch in your low back area? Take that rib cage and rotate it up so that you're not too much into your spine, but more into the muscles. Take a deep inhale here and exhale, maybe fall over a little bit more. Now, deep inhale into the belly, feeling the stretch of the right low back and the left inner thigh as you exhale. One more time, deep inhale into the belly and exhaling. Inhaling, lifting the right arm up and exhaling, dropping it down. All right, repeating Z pose on the right side now. So let's find the correct position. So have your entire pelvis onto your bolster. Check in that your left knee lines up with your left hip, shin bone lines up with the outside of your mat. Then with the right knee, right leg, have the right knee line up with the right shoulder, shin bone line up with the front of your mat. Then take your left hand and come to that crease of that left hip. One side might be much, much tighter than the other. Very nice to always do a little bit of a joint mobilization of our hips before we do a lot of stretching. So that's why we're doing this. In this position, right arm, take that inhale, lift that arm up, and then as you exhale, side bend up and over that left hand, stretching that left hip joint. Take a deep inhale into your belly here. And exhaling out, maybe side bending a bit more, pushing down into that left arm. Let's do one more time, please. Nice deep inhaling in and exhaling out. Inhale, lifting up, and then exhaling the arm down. All right, now let's get into this right hip. So simply take your hands and drop your hands in front of that right thigh. Again, if the first thing that you feel is your hamstring, chances are you're already too far into your hip. So just use that block and come up a little tiny bit so you're not so far into hip flexion. But in this position, a lot of you at home are probably in a curved position of your spine right now. So that's what we need to start with first. So take a nice deep inhale, and as you inhale, take your belly and your spine and arch it towards the front of the bolster as you exhale. All right, now that your spine is nice and straight, take a nice deep inhale, and then on the exhale, start to bend those elbows as you forward bend. Go to your level of tension in your right hip. Take a deep inhale into that belly, and then exhaling out, maybe going a little further. Inhale into that belly, exhaling out. One more, just like we did on the left side. Inhaling into the belly and exhaling out. And then inhaling, pushing yourself back up, and then rotating yourself back to the front. Now, as you rotate back to the front, just take your knees off the side of the bolster, place your bolster to the center of your mat, and then find your way so that you're now straddling the bolster into hands and knees. So we're gonna do a little bit of cat-cows, and then we're gonna do a little bit of hip strengthening before we use our bolster again. So check in that your knees are hip distance. Stack your knees directly on top of your hips, and then take a gaze back that you see that your feet and your ankles line up with your hips and your knees. Walk your hands forward so that your arms are elbows and wrists directly underneath your shoulders, and check in with your index finger. That's the finger that should point forward. Allow the thumbs to come all the way inward. Outer three fingers, spread them all on out. Now in this position, lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Hold yourself in this beautiful tabletop for a minute. Can you take an inhale here and just let your belly sink without your spine moving? And can you exhale and pull your belly up and in, really gaining motor control of those abdominal muscles? Inhale, diaphragm drops down, let your abdominal muscles relax. Don't let your spine move. And then as you exhale, pull that belly up and in. Keep your neck long, chin tucked, gazing down between the thumbs. One more time.
Inhale, let your belly sink. Keep the spine still. And then exhale, contract the abdominals, pushing that belly up and in towards the spine, but keeping the spine nice and still. All right, let's go through 3 cat-cows here for me, please. So now inhale, sink the belly and the spine, tailbone up, shoulder blades back, lengthen that neck and look up to the ceiling. And then as you exhale, pull that belly up and in, arch the spine, tuck the tailbone, spread the shoulder blades, chin to your chest, look into that belly button. 2 more times. Inhaling, sinking everything down. How much length can you get through the front of your body, just like we did in sitting? And then exhaling, curling everything up and under, chin to chest, look into that belly button, spread those shoulder blades. Last time. Inhaling, sinking everything down, shoulder blades back and down, lengthen through that neck. And then as you exhale, curly everything up and under. Now, keep your curl. Keep that nice angry cat. Walk your hands up onto your bolsters. Really try to tuck that tailbone under as you sit towards those heels. Take a small inhale here, and then on the exhale, let the elbows bend and bring the crown of the head right to that bolster. Now check in with your crown of your head on the bolster. Can you see that your feet and your knees and your hips all line up? Relax your elbows. Let there be no tension through your neck or your shoulders. Take a nice deep inhale into your belly. And then as you exhale, just slowly let that air relax. Let's do that one more time. Nice deep inhale into the belly. And then as you exhale, slowly let that air let go. Beautiful. Slowly coming back up onto hands and knees for me. Find that alignment between the hips, knees, and your feet. Wrists, elbows, and shoulders. Index fingers forward. Make sure that you have that space between those shoulder blades, not letting your spine collapse, not letting your spine stay curled. Find that happy little place in the middle. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Now, in this position, keeping that spine nice and tight, stable, start to harden, start to brace through your abdominals. So allow the brace through the abdominals, the engagement through the shoulder blades to keep your spine in that perfectly tabletop position. Take your left leg and straighten your leg straight out behind you with your knee. Can you just take a quick look at your left leg? Can you make sure that your left knee still stacks directly on top of your hip and you haven't fallen up and over because of a weak left hip? So stack those up. Can you check in that your pelvis is not rotated, but that your back is nice and straight? Now take a deep inhale here, and on the exhale, really harden those abdominals. Now, inhale, take your right foot off the floor just 2 inches. Exhale, focus on those abdominals. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale, focus on those abdominals. Drop the foot down, slide the leg in. Check in, you've got the alignment through the lower legs. Find that tabletop of that spine again, engage through the shoulder blades, lengthen the neck, chin down. Take an inhale here. Exhale, tighten through those abdominals, make them nice and firm like a brace, but you're not pulling them up and in necessarily. The left leg, straighten it out. Can you check in that your right leg you didn't fall out to the side or your pelvis didn't rotate up or down? In this position, keeping everything stable, go back to your belly. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, harden those abdominals. All right, inhale, lift the left foot 2 inches. Exhale, holding here, tighten the abdominals. One more breath, inhale. Exhale, tighten those abdominals, and then slowly drop that leg in. Walk the hands up onto the bolster. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under, sit into the heels, slowly drop the crown of the head to the bolster. All right, relaxing here. Deep inhale into your belly and exhaling out. Deep inhale into your belly and exhaling out. Slowly bringing yourself up to hands and knees. Now, here's what I want you to do. With your bolster, just merely move your bolster forward so that you're in hands and knees, but the hands would be on the bolster.
Got it? As soon as you have that, here's what I want you to do. Take your left knee, place your left knee in the center of your mat. So your foot is straight behind the left leg. This is going to be hard on that left hip, so let's hope for some good strengthening here. Take your left arm, place your left arm down into the center of the bolster. Once you have your left arm down into the center of the bolster, give it a 90-degree turn so that your left hand is pointing out towards the bolster. Turn your right foot to place it underneath your left foot. Can you see where we're going here? Can you do a side plank? Holding here, see if you can. Inhale, lift the right leg up and line that right leg up with your body. Exhale, tighten your abdominals. Just one more breath. Inhaling here, holding that right leg, using the left hip rotators. Exhale, tighten your abdominals. Drop your right leg down. Slide your right leg in. Turn yourself around. So all you're going to do is do a 180 and place your right knee in the center of the bolster. I'm going to do a quick turn so that I'm facing you guys. So right knee is in the center of your mat, my apologies. Right hand, center of the bolster. Drop the right arm down onto the bolster so that the elbow's in the center. Then in this position, do a 90-degree turn with that right hand, placing the right hand so that the fingertips are outward towards the bolster. All right, see if you can do a little bit of abdominal side plank, but strengthening through the right hip rotators, and then let's add the left hip abductors here. So in this position, right hand, by all means, hold on for balance. Can you take an inhale here and lift that left leg up? Exhale, tighten the abdominals. Inhale, hold that left leg up. Exhale, tighten the abdominals. Slowly drop the left leg back down. Sit back into your heels. Settle your head down onto your bolster. Take a deep inhale into your belly. Exhaling out. One more time here. Nice deep inhale into your belly. And exhaling out. Slowly allowing yourself to bring the bolster back to the center of your mat. Once the bolster's back to the center of the mat, we're coming up and on that bolster to lay on our back. So let's talk about how to do this the nice, easy, efficient way. So gently bring yourself to the edge of the bolster. Have it so that the majority of your leg is off the bolster. That is key so that when you roll over, you're not going to be too far off the other end. In this position, stack the knees one on top of the other, drop down onto the right or left elbow, depending on where you are, and then rotate yourself over. Now, in this position, check in that you feel like your pelvis is completely on the bolster. Again, make sure that if you can feel the waistband of your pants or shorts or whatever, that it lines up somewhere with the top of that bolster. Very nice. Now, in this position, allow yourself to lengthen your neck, settle your chin towards the floor. Take your right knee to the chest, followed by your left knee to the chest. So this is a great way to stretch out the front of your hips, the hip flexors, the things that get so short, so tense, so tight with all of that prolonged sitting. So in this position, allow yourself to take a nice deep inhale, and then as you exhale, just gently pull your knees into your chest. Nice and simple. Now, keep the left knee into your chest. Take your right leg and just gently place it back down onto the floor. Now, for some of you, you may already feel a stretch to the front of the hip. So what we're going to try to do today is to find that point where your heel begins to disengage with the floor. So keeping your left knee to your chest, lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, start to slide the right leg down your mat. What is the point for you that you feel, oop, my heel comes off of the floor? Where is that level of straightness of your knee for you? You might have enough flexibility that you can get your knee perfectly straight. If so, make sure that you didn't get your knee straight by taking your left knee away from your chest. That would be a back movement.
So pull that left knee back to the chest and only go to wherever you can get that right knee straight. Now, let's really work on opening up our hip flexors here. So take a nice deep inhale, and then as you exhale, just try to straighten the knee as you push your heel down into your mat. Nice deep inhale in. As you exhale, push that heel down into the mat to open up through those hip flexors. One more breath, deep inhaling in, exhaling, pushing that heel down as that knee straightens. Slowly relaxing, sliding the foot back up. Taking an inhale, bringing the right knee to your chest, and then on the exhale, dropping that left foot down. Now, really engage the right knee into your chest here. Take a deep inhale, and then on the exhale, how far can you slide the left leg down before you feel the heel come off the floor, or you start to take your left knee away from your chest, which means essentially you're moving your back. Find that position for you. Now that you found it, neck is logged, chin is gently tucked into the throat, keeping that right knee firmly to the chest. Take a deep inhale here, and then on the exhale, straightening that left knee, but pushing that left leg down into the floor. Do you feel your glutes engaged? Keep that heel pushing down into the floor. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, push that left leg and that heel down into the floor. One more breath, deep inhaling in and exhaling, pushing that leg down into the floor. Very nice. Slowly start to bend the leg back up. Take a deep inhale, lift the left knee to the chest, and then exhale, holding it right here. Now we are not done. We're going to add one little thing to that little stretch to make it that much more harder, but to really tackle the hip flexors that are on the outside of our hips. So in this position, keep your left knee to your chest, take your right foot and place it down on the floor. Now, keeping the left knee secure to the chest, can you just walk your right foot over so that if you could imagine it lines up perfectly with your left knee and foot? Keeping that foot on the floor right there, you may already feel a little additional stretch through the outside of your hip. Keep the left knee to the chest, take a deep inhale, and then on the exhale, slowly slide that leg down. You will not get it as straight as you got it before if your outer hip flexors are tight. I am the tightest through my outer hip flexors. Holding that position, keeping that left knee to your chest, take a deep inhale here, and then on that exhale, attempt to straighten that knee, but push that heel down into the floor. Two more breaths, inhaling here, keep pushing, exhaling, keep that glute engaged, pushing that heel into the floor. One more breath, deep inhale in, exhaling, pushing that heel into the floor. Beautiful. Slowly slide the right leg back up, walk it back over in line with the right hip. Take an inhale here, bring the right knee to the chest, exhale, drop the foot back down on the left. So right knee nice and tight into the chest here. Slowly walk the left leg over. So imagine if you could, your right knee, right foot, left knee, left foot, all kind of stack up, keeping the left knee secured tightly to the chest. Take a deep inhale, exhale, sliding that left leg down. Keep that right knee in. Don't be surprised if you don't get it straight. It just means you're tighter through your outer hip flexors. Holding that position, take a deep inhale, and then on the exhale, start to straighten that left knee, but push that left leg down into the floor, engaging through those left glutes. Inhaling here. Exhaling, pushing that left leg down. One more breath. Nice deep inhale and exhale and pushing that left leg down. Beautiful. Sliding that left leg back up, walking it back on over to the left side. Taking an inhale here, left knee up, exhale, pulling the knees to your chest. All right. So we are simply going to be getting rid of our yoga bolster now. We are finished with it for the remainder of class. So what I'd like you to do, just take your hands gently to your bolster, engage your abdominals, and lift it up and away from you until you find a position that you can kind of keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing it to the very end of your bolster. Out of our way, done with it. Very nice. Take your right knee to your chest. Take your deep inhale, and then on the exhale, pull your knee into your chest. Nice deep inhale here. Exhale, slide that left leg now straight on the mat. Should be nice and easy to do now that you've opened up to those hip flexors. All right, let's do a little dance of inhales and exhales here. So on your inhale, push your left leg down into the floor, and on your exhale, pull your right knee into your chest. 2 more times. Inhale, push the left leg down. Exhale, pull the right knee into the chest. And inhale, left leg down. Exhale, right knee into the chest. Very nice. Inhale, slide the left leg up, and then exhale, release the right foot to the floor. Take a nice deep inhale, left knee into the chest. Exhale, pull it nice and tight. Deep inhale here, and then on the exhale, slide that right leg down. Same deal. So take an inhale, push the right leg down into the floor. Exhale, pull the left knee into the chest. 2 more times. Inhaling, pushing the right leg down into the floor. Exhaling, pulling the left knee into the chest. And finally, inhaling, pushing that right leg down into the floor, and exhaling, pulling that left knee into your chest. Inhale, slide the right leg up, and then exhale, release the left foot to the floor. Very good. Now, find your block wherever your block may be. So if your block is lower down on your mat, make sure to roll down through your side and over onto your back to grab your block. Don't allow yourself to kind of aggressively sit up and then roll yourself back down pretty hard on your low back. So once you've got your block, place your block into your right hand. Take your right leg and bring it over your left ankle. Right block in hand, place it to the inside of the right thigh or knee. Left hand, roll your body, place the left hand underneath your bottom. Once you have it in that position, settle your shoulder blades back and down, lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Literally rotate your pelvis a little bit to the left so that you feel weight into your left hand. Now, with the block and the right knee and the right hand, take a nice deep inhale here. And then on the exhale, gently start to push that knee away. Let the hand and the block push the knee away. Don't push the knee away actively. Stay sitting into your left hand. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, start to push that knee away a bit more. Now, hopefully at this point, you feel a nice little stretch in the outside of your right hip. If you feel no stretch, sometimes you can move your pelvis a little bit into an arch or a tilt, usually an arch of your low back, and really define that stretch into that outer right hip. Maintaining that there. Take a deep inhale into your belly. And exhaling out. One more breath. Nice deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Slowly turning and rotating the pelvis, taking the left hand away, removing the block away from the right knee, uncrossing the right knee, and repeating this all over on the opposite side. So left ankle to the right knee, block and hand to the left knee, rotate yourself to the left, place the right hand underneath you, and place all of the weight into that right hand. So really allow the pelvis and the low back to not move at all. Taking a nice deep inhale here, and then on the exhale, starting to push that left knee away. Nice deep inhale, and then exhaling, maybe pushing a little bit more, but really focusing on trying to find that stretch to the outside of the left hip. Sometimes moving your pelvis, creating a little bit of an arch through your low back will allow you to deeply find that stretch. So you can do that if it helps you identify a deeper stretch, but keep the weighted to the right hand. Lengthen the neck, settle the chin, shoulder blades back and down. Let's take a deep inhale into the belly here. And exhaling out. One more time for me. Nice deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Slowly letting the pelvis turn to the left, taking the right hand from underneath you, and then taking the block and moving it away from you. Very good. Now, with the block, what I would like you to do, we're going to do a little bit of an assisted bridge before we're finished with our block for our class. So what I would like you to do is allow yourself, however is comfortable for you, to kind of lift your hips and place the block in its flattest position. So with the shortest amount underneath you, place the block underneath your entire pelvis area. So very, very similar to what we had just positioned ourselves when we were underneath the bolster. But the difference is this is much harder. So you get a really good feel for where your pelvis sits onto the block. Now, what I would like you to do in this position is just kind of rotate your knees side to side until you can feel the position for you at home, that it feels like your pelvis is covering the most surface area on the block. So if you've got any sort of pelvic rotation or any sort of different muscle tensions on one side, it might be that a little bit of a rotation actually helps you feel more of your pelvis on that block. Now that you've found that position where everything is engaging on the block, go to your abdominals for me and take a nice deep inhale. And then on the exhale, harden your abdominals. So don't pull them up and in, because that's going to create a pelvic tilt. Literally just harden them, like someone is coming and punching you and you're hardening those abdominals in place. Start to push your feet into the floor. And then as you inhale, just simply try to push your knees a little tiny bit forward as you feel your glutes unload from the block. Now squeeze your glutes. Keep your abdominals hard. Take a deep inhale here and an exhale. One more breath. Deep inhale here and an exhale. Drop your pelvis back down onto it. Relax your glutes, relax your hamstrings. Try that little bit of a rock and roll on that pelvis. What is the position for you that you feel the most contact of your pelvis with that block? One more round. Take a deep inhale, abdominals please. Exhale, tighten and harden the abdominals as much as you can. Feel it firm up. Now in that position, as you inhale, start to push into the floor, but don't let go of your abdominals. And as you exhale, merely just try to let your knees come over your toes a little bit. Now squeeze your glutes to get your gluteal contraction. Keep the abdominals tight. Take a deep inhale here and an exhale. One more breath. Nice deep inhale and an exhale. Drop the pelvis back down onto the bolster, a block, sorry. Take the block and place the block out to the side. You are done with the block. Now, right knee, bring it up to your chest. For those of you at home that might have gotten a nice pretty cramp in your hamstrings, what that tells you is that your glutes are weak and you are very hamstring dominant. Time to create a little bit of length in those hamstrings now. Right knee to the chest, left leg. Slide that leg straight out for me. Take a deep inhale, and on the exhale, pull the right knee to the chest. Shoulder blades are back and down. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, and then point both sets of toes up towards the floor. Now, keeping your right knee into your chest, take a nice deep inhale and straighten that right knee where you can. And then as you exhale, slowly let it bend. Let's do that 2 more times. Nice deep inhale. Make sure your neck is long, your chin is tucked. Exhale, slowly bend. And again for me, nice deep inhale, straightening that knee, exhaling and letting it bend. Very nice. This time, inhale, straighten the knee. Even if you got some shaking happening, that's okay. Keep the knee to the chest, shoulder blades back and down, lengthen the neck, settle your chin, and then point your toes away. Take an inhale, point your toes towards. Exhale, point your toes away. 2 more times. Inhale, point your toes towards. A little bit of a sciatic nerve stretch here. Exhale, point it away. 1 more time. Inhale, point towards. And then exhale, point away. Relax your knee. Left leg. Inhale, slide the left leg up. Exhale, relax the right foot to the floor. Inhale the left knee into the chest, hands around the bottom side. Exhale, slide the right leg down. Take a nice deep inhale here. And then on the exhale, really securely push that knee on the left side towards your chest. Shoulder blades are back and down. Lengthen your neck. Settle your chin for me, please. Have a nice, good, secure anchor of that upper part of your leg. Now in this position, both sets of toes up for me, please. Take an inhale, straighten the leg. Only to where you feel the tension in the back of your leg. Exhale and relax. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Inhaling, straightening the leg. Exhaling, relaxing the leg. 1 more time to make it 3, like we did on the opposite side. Inhaling, straightening, and then exhaling and relaxing. Now, this time, keep the knee to the chest, shoulder blades back and down, straighten the leg, and then point your toes away. A little bit of a glide for your sciatic nerve here. So inhale, point the toes towards your chest or your head. Exhale, point away. Inhale, point towards. Exhale, point away. And 1 more time, inhaling, point towards, and exhaling, point away. Slowly dropping the left knee down. Take an inhale, slide the right leg up, and on the exhale, relax the left foot to the floor. All right, let's get into those hip rotators a little bit at the end of class here. So take your right knee to your chest, hold your hands to the underside of your right knee. Bring your right knee more to the center of the chest now. So again, imagine the position that you could place your right foot onto your left knee. That's going to be where your knee is in the center of your chest. Take your left leg now and slide your leg straight down the mat. So keep that right knee in the center of your chest. Hold onto that right knee with your right hand. Left hand, slide the hand down as close to your ankle as you can get. Take a nice deep inhale, and as you exhale, keep that right knee to the center of your chest, but start to rotate that ankle up and towards your left shoulder. Feel that beautiful stretch through your right hip. Lengthen your left leg, shoulder blades back and down. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Maybe even soften your face here. Holding that stretch into those hip rotators, specifically the piriformis. Take a deep inhale into your belly. And exhaling out. Inhale into your belly. Exhaling out. Slide the left hand back to the knee. Bring the leg back into its neutral position. Then on an inhale, slide the left leg up. On the exhale, relax the right foot down to the floor. All right, let's do that all over on the other side. So inhaling, bringing that left knee to the chest, but bring it to the center of the chest so that you know it's like that left heel is kind of placed towards that right knee. Once you have that, slide that right leg down. So in this position, keeping the knee towards the center of the chest, left hand is holding the left leg, right hand, bring the hand to the top of the leg and slide it down as close to your ankle as you feel comfortable without your shoulder blade coming off the floor. Keep that left knee to the center of your chest. Now take a nice deep inhale, and on the exhale, pull that left knee to the chest, pull that left ankle up towards that right shoulder. Keep the right leg straight, shoulder blades back and down, lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Oh, find that hip rotator in that left area of your hip. Deep inhale into your belly here. Then exhaling out. Nice deep inhale into your belly. And then exhaling out. Slowly releasing the right hand from the left ankle, unrotating the leg. Right leg, inhale it up, and then exhale, drop the foot down into the floor. All right, let's have some fun with butterfly pose. Now that we've opened up both of our hip rotators, hamstrings are happy, hip flexors are happy, outer hip flexors are happy, inner thighs are happy. Let's see how good we can get with these hips. So take your left foot, please, and bring your left foot to the center of your mat with your knees still bent. And then take your right leg and cross your leg all the way up and over so that your inner thighs are nice and close and touching. Take a nice deep inhale and bring your knees towards your chest. Now, option number one, so we'll try this one first, is just to hold the hands underneath the left leg. Can you find the position where you get both of your knees to kind of line up with the center of your chest? Now, in this position, if you already have plenty of stretch to the right buttock area, you are perfectly fine to stay here. But if you would like to try full-on butterfly pose, let's try this together. So keep your right hand holding on to your left leg. Left hand, please, grab a hold of your right ankle or shin bone. Once you have that, right hand grabs a hold of the left ankle and shin bone. And so your legs, specifically your feet, if you move them up and down, are kind of like the wings of a butterfly here. In this position, you're using your biceps to gently pull your ankles up towards your shoulders. Can you check in that your knees are in the center of your chest? All right, take a deep inhale here. On the exhale, use your biceps and gently pull your ankles towards your shoulders. Settle your spine down, relax the muscles, really let this work through your hips. Now, point your toes gently up. Take a deep inhale into your belly. And exhaling out. One more breath, nice deep inhaling in. And exhaling out. Very nice. Let go with the right hand first. Grab to the underside of the leg. And then let go with the left hand second, holding on. In this position, then take a deep inhale, and on the exhale, drop the left foot down to the floor, and then uncross the legs. All right, so take your right foot, bring it to the center of your mat. Left leg, cross it up and over so that there's no space between both thighs, so the inner thighs are squeezing and touching one another. Now, in this position, take a nice deep inhale, and as you exhale, pull the knees to the chest. See if you can get your hands to the underside of that right leg. Holding onto the right leg with the left hand. Right hand is loose. Find the left ankle. Then, letting go of the left hand, see if you can reach the right ankle shin bone or somewhere in between those. All right, so as you move your feet right now, you have made your wings of your butterfly, right? Can you check in that your knees are in the center of your chest and you haven't done some crazy side bend of your low back or pelvis? Sometimes that happens just to get your hands to your ankles. So check in with that alignment. Then let's use our biceps and really open up through our hip rotators here. Take a nice deep inhale in, and as you exhale, pull those ankles up towards the shoulders. Make sure your shoulder blades are back and down, neck is long, chin is tucked. Maintain that position for me there. Take a deep inhale into your belly. And exhaling out. One more beautiful, nice inhale into your belly. And exhaling out. Starting with the right hand, unrelease it. Left hand, unrelease it. Holding behind your knees, getting some derotation of the legs, taking a deep inhale here. Exhaling, dropping that right foot down to the floor, and then uncrossing the legs. All right, let's do some windshield wipers before we do a modified spinal twist today. So take your feet to the width of your mat. Take your knees to join and line up with your ankles. So you're in kind of like a nice little knee bent straddled position. Take a nice deep inhale here, and then on your exhale, just let your knees fall to the right side. So focus right now on your left knee. Allow yourself to take an inhale, lengthen as you inhale through the belly, and then as you exhale, can you drop that knee down a little further towards the floor? Feel that stretch through the whole outside of the hip. One more time, nice deep inhale in, and then exhale, dropping that left knee down a little further. Now take your focus to the right knee. Allow the right knee on the inhale, and then on the exhale, can you let it get towards the floor? Nice deep inhale. Exhale, slowly dropping that right knee towards the floor. And then inhaling, bringing both legs all the way up as you find that same position, stacking the knees on top of the ankles. Now, deep inhale here. Exhale, dropping the knees towards the left. So let's focus on this right leg first. So as you take an inhale, expand the belly, lengthen through the spine. And then as you exhale, work on dropping that right knee nice and close down towards the floor. Feel that lengthening and that stretch throughout that hip. Deep inhale in. And then as you exhale, dropping that right knee down towards your mat. Now with the left leg, focusing on getting it lower to the mat. Take a deep inhale here. And then on the exhale, slowly letting it fall towards the mat. One more breath, nice deep inhale. Exhaling, slowly letting that fall towards the mat. And then inhaling, bringing both knees back up to the center position, and then exhaling there. All right, let's rock and roll through some windshield wipers here. So take a deep inhale, exhale, drop the knees to the right. Inhale, bringing the legs back up, and then exhaling, dropping the knees to the left. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhaling up, lengthen your neck, settle your chin, shoulder blades down. Exhaling to the right. Keep those shoulder blades on the mat. Inhaling up. Exhaling to the left. One more round. Inhaling up. Exhaling to the right. And inhaling up. And exhaling to the left. Beautiful. Inhale all the way up. Now from here, allow the width of those knees to stay nice and wide, shoulder width as a matter of fact, and bring both of your knees to your chest. Take your feet, stack them up with the ceiling. So we are in a happy baby pose here, but allow it to be about your hips today. So don't focus on the sacrum or the pelvis and pulling the knees down. Just focus on having yourself in this wind relieving pose, but with a little bit of engagement through your quadriceps, a little bit of stretch through your hamstrings. Can you pull your shoulder blades back and down? Can you lengthen your neck? Can you settle your chin? Can you get those feet up towards the floor? All right, so take an inhale here, and then on the exhale, just rock slightly to the right. Inhale to the center. Exhale, rock slightly to the left. One more time. Inhale to the center. Exhale to the right. Boy, does that feel good on the back muscles, right? Inhale to the center. Exhale to the left. Inhale to the center. And then as you exhale, relax those knees. Bring your feet down to the floor. All right, we're going to do a modified spinal twist to end class today. So here's what I want you to do. Take your feet and walk your feet all the way over to the right edge of the mat. So since we're about hips today, we're going to do our spinal twist with the focus on hips. Now with your feet all the way to the right edge of the mat, take your left leg and cross it up and over your right leg. Take your arms and gently rest your arms out to the side of you. Really pay attention to that right shoulder blade here. Take a nice deep inhale, and then as you exhale, let the left leg bring the right leg down. How far can you get that right knee towards the floor? Lengthen out through the right arm, lengthen your neck, settle your chin, and then gently turn your gaze towards that right thumb. Take a nice deep inhale here. And then exhale, relaxing. One more beautiful inhale and exhale through that belly. So deep inhaling here. And exhale and relaxing. Slowly bring the head back to the center, starting at this rib cage. Slowly pull the rib cage back and down first, followed by the low back and pelvis. And then the knees, bring the knees stacked right back up with that right ankle. Uncross the legs and walk the feet all the way over to the left side of the mat. So you're in a little bit of a side bend here, but it's a little bit more of a focus to the pelvis and the hip. Now, with the knees stacked on top of the ankles, take the right leg and cross it over the left knee. Arms straight out of the body, outside of the body here. And take a nice deep inhale. And on the exhale, drop those knees, using the right knee to pull the left knee down towards the floor. Lengthen out through that left arm. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. And then turn your gaze towards your left thumb. Deep inhale into the belly. And then exhaling out. One more breath. Nice deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Use your abdominals. Slowly bring the head back to the center. And then with abdominals, pull the rib cage and then the spine and pelvis before the knees stack back up. Uncross the legs, walk the feet to the center of the mat, bring the knees back up to the chest one more time to open up through that back. And this time, give it a good rock and roll. Really massage through those abdominal muscles, massage through those pelvis muscles. Feel even those outer glute muscles as you get to the end of that rock and roll from side to side. Let yourself feel the massaging of those muscles. And then when you feel like you're ready, allow yourself to place your feet flat on the floor. Relax your pelvis in a nice position. Make sure your low back is not arched. Get a little bit of an engagement into your abdominals here. So holding your abdominals firm. Take a nice deep inhale. And then on your exhale, just slide your right leg down to the right corner of your mat. And then with your left leg, nice deep inhale. On the exhale, abdominals still engaged. Slide the left leg down to the left corner of the mat. Slowly relax the abdominals and then check in with your pelvis for a minute. As you lengthen and shorten one leg or the other, can you find that position where your pelvis feels like it is the flattest on the mat? Slowly relax the rib cage. For those of us that like to keep our rib cages lifted, relax your rib cage now. Shoulder blades, roll them underneath you. Gently bring your arms out to the side of your body. Rest the hands onto the floor, palms lifted. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Rest your tongue to the roof of your mouth. Settle your eyelids closed. Relax your eyeballs in your sockets. And let your body rest in this position. Let's slowly go to observing a gentle belly breath here. So we're still going to make our breath intentional for the next several breaths before we let our breath go. So don't take a really deep inhale, but just slowly inhale as you expand your belly. And as you exhale, just let the air slowly fall out through your nose. Inhaling, expand your belly. And as you exhale, slowly letting that air fall out. And inhaling. And exhaling. Now let go of the intentional breath. But as you keep your body nice and still, Can you perceive that gentle lift of the belly as the diaphragm does its work on an inhale, and that fall of a belly on the exhale? As a thought passes your mind, go back to your belly. Just feel your normal breath. Now start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Some circles with your wrists and your ankles. And then when you're ready, start to slowly slide one leg up, followed by that other leg. And gently rest yourself over in a side lie position. And keeping yourself there for a moment. Taking a nice deep inhale and an exhale here. And then when you're ready on an exhale, using that top arm and pushing yourself up into a seated position. Resting yourself in a nice, good seated position. Hands are to our hearts and smiles are on our faces. Nice deep inhale in and out. Namaste. The highest in me salutes the highest in you. Thank you.